Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another podcast of Everest Timers. Today is my pleasure to have Abhirup Sarkar with me. I have known him since a child, practically, I think, right? It's been around 14, 15 years we have been together. He has transitioned from a simple, cute tech guy to a very seasoned salesperson at this point of time, and he handles the Mid-East region and is also helping us a lot in the Eastern region. He comes with a very, very solid background in the IT service management. So I would be talking to him primarily on how that service management space is actually doing well. Thank you, Abhirup, for coming. So let's get to the questions first, right? Directly.
Pleasure, thanks a lot for the warm welcome. Please go ahead.
So Abhirup, ITSM has been in the market for quite some time. It's a kind of a mature place, but it keeps evolving, right? What do you think are the current challenges customers are facing, especially during the ITSM employment, or what are they looking forward to now?
Okay, I think in today's world, one of the most pressing challenges enterprises are facing with respect to ITSM is the lack of robust workflow automation. And it's a bit strange or ironic because I say that because 9 out of 10 ITSM tools claim to be built on automation or driven by automation, but the question is how relevant and effective is the automation with respect to that particular organization's IT processes or business processes.
So what you're primarily telling me is every vertical might need different automation, and that's not available.
Exactly. We need to be really pinpointing the use cases based on the sector, based on the company size and the processes they're following, and also the compliances they need to really take care
of. You have a very unique experience of selling in India and now selling a lot outside India also, yes. Right? What are the differences you're seeing in the ITSM space, that what's happening in India, what's happening outside? Is India more mature, outside more mature? How's the entire field been in terms of this?
Okay, so yes, there are differences, not only India, or I think every geography has some uniqueness about it. It's not just about ITSM, I think it's about anything and everything in general. But when it comes to ITSM, first and foremost, I think since usability is a very big factor, it can be a make or break thing for any ITSM tool. So I think the language is something which is very important. So in India, it should have any ITSM tool should have option of, apart from English, it should have options for Hindi and some of the other local languages. Similarly, say take Middle East, if I can talk about as a foreign country or a foreign region. Arabic is kind of a must-have for any ITSM tools there, and it's not something that is proposed by the government or anything. It's something like, say, as a user, as an end user, ITSM is a tool. It's not just limited to the IT teams. It actually is used by all the end users who can be from accounts, from sales, from different departments, right? And some of them may not be so fluent in English, because in that country English may not be a de facto language. So there again, having the local language flavor becomes very important. And apart from that, apart from the language, which is a big factor in the ease of use, I think we need to also look at the compliances which drive the IT processes across different geographies. So again, it can be country wise. Within a country also, it can again depend on the sector wise. Like for healthcare, it can be HIPAA. For banks, it can be PCI DSS. What are the benefits you are getting from the ITSM tool with respect to these compliances?
So to put and say, localization is important, multi-language is important.
Exactly.
right? And then you're saying compliances also make a big difference. Do you mean to say that India is not looking too much into compliance and other countries are looking, or is it that just the need of it is more there?
No, so not exactly. India also has its own set of compliances. Like for example, if you see in India we have RBI. Just take the BFSI segment for example. So RBI kind of comes out with all the regulations and compliances for banks to be followed across the country, right? Similarly, across other countries, say Middle East, if I take Qatar or UAE, there are similar entities which comes up with their own set of standards and compliances, but more or less similar. There may be a lot of similarities between such a compliance in India and in Middle East, but there will be certain differences also.
So, because the ITSM tool holds so much of information about end users, it becomes critical there, right? Nice. Other big question that keeps going on everybody's mind, ITIL V4. Yes. One statement which I heard was, it's too less, too late. And I'm not an expert in it, so what is your take on it?
Okay, that's a very hot topic of late. I'm sure we are hearing about it everywhere. See, ITIL 4 or ITIL V4, it was I think launched in Feb 2019, and as with any new technology or any new buzzword, it took its time, right? Because if you talk about cloud, initially there was so much of resistance, hesitancy. People didn't know whether to adopt cloud or not to adopt cloud, but today we see almost the entire world is moving to cloud. So similarly with ITIL 4 or ITIL V4, there was that initial hesitancy, resistance, but I think since it's been 3 to 4 years now, people have kind of moved past that initial phase, and now it's becoming adopted more and more across different regions. So some countries may be going at it a bit more aggressively than others, but slowly but surely I think this is something which is going to be this is going to come into place across all regions.
So value systems not only for people, it's for process also now.
It's for people and processes.
Nice. What is Infron doing in this space? We know Infron has got a tool, but what is it actually doing in this space?
Okay, so Infron actually is helping its customers or organizations across the globe to modernize their approach towards IT operations, monitoring and management with the help of AI and ML. So AI helps to increase the automation capabilities. ML gives you a lot of additional analytical abilities. So together, aided by these components, they're actually changing the game when it comes to monitoring and managing your entire organization's IT infra. So in a nutshell, like if you see the target customer base, the geographies, so Infron has done its homework in terms of addressing needs of different segments. So be it BFSI, be it telecom, even manufacturing and other segments, and also from a company size perspective, they have focused solutions for SMBs, for mid-market, and even for the large enterprises. Right.
So going forward, what do you think are the USPs? In your experience, can you give us some use cases where it's beautifully sat and really made a difference in the life of the customer?
Okay. Yeah, so USPs are definitely there. So one good thing that Infron does is it gets a lot of feedback from existing customers, industry consultants, and consulting agencies as well in terms of what's happening in the IT world, and then we try to act on it. Right. So coming to a use case, I think I was talking about how automation has become extremely important in today's world in ITSM. So Infron has this feature called AI-led incident registration. So basically what happens is when there is an event or an alert, say maybe there is an issue with a network link or a server disk failure, so automatically that alarm or event is logged into a ticket, and through some AI driven algorithms, the tool itself is able to figure out who is the team or person who should be assigned this ticket to, right? So that's kind of it's a very simple task if you think of it just like that, but it requires a lot of intelligence to ensure that the correct person is assigned and the ticket can then get looked into and resolved quickly. So this auto assignment through AI is something which is actually helping our customers a lot.
Anything more on the USPs you want to touch upon?
Yeah, so this is one, and then the other part is the usability. We spoke about it earlier also. So user friendliness has become very, very important. So Infron solutions, one of the main design criterias are it should have a very, very low learning curve, right? Because it should be used by people not only in the IT team. ITSM tools are used by everyone, and user experience is very, very important nowadays. In fact, I think Gartner and some of the other consulting agencies have stressed the importance of user experience. So what Infron is doing is basically it's trying to leverage upon that. And then things like certain features I can talk about, say just for example the dynamic workflow builder. So it just gives you a drag and drop workflow builder where even a non-technical person who knows the process flow can just simply within a few clicks configure their incident management workflow.
Okay, so you converting the domain knowledge into the actual workflow is something that's very, very simple.
Exactly, and this is only possible because of the low-code approach of Infron, where you don't need, high-profile coders to be sitting and doing any work that is required from the software. But simple layman who knows what are the processes, can use the tool to their benefit to implement it and configure the workflows.
I think during the initial phases also, one of the key aspects that we had was to reduce the time a person spends on the tool, right? Have we been able to achieve it?
Yes. So there is a lot of debate in terms of how much, but yes, we have. Again, when it comes to how much, it's different for different industries, the size of the company, IT team, and so on. A lot of metrics come into the picture. But on a generic level, yes, we have been able to reduce that. Again, it's only been possible through the AI and ML that have been added to the solution, right? So workflow automation is an example. Similarly, there are a lot of other automations. So we are also coming up with a intelligent chatbot, so where it vastly reduces the amount of manual effort that an IT manager or a team lead has to do when it comes to managing the incidents that are hitting the tool, right? So there are a lot of places where automation has found its way, and as I said in the beginning, it's all about figuring out how automation can help in your IT processes or in your organization's IT processes. So that is something that Infron we are able to do. We have kept the framework very flexible, where we first do our due diligence in understanding the organization's IT processes, practices they're following, and then the tool adds on as it enables you to implement them in the simplest possible manner.
Yeah. So Abhirup, I think you are going to be participating in GitX, right? One of the largest tech shows. What are you looking forward there?
Yes, definitely. So I think GITEX is it is one of the largest IT expos in the world, and we are having a booth there. So I request anyone and everyone to please come and meet me there. I'll also be there with one of my colleagues. So we can actually help you understand more about how Infron is helping customers in modernizing their approach to IT operations monitoring and management. And if you need to go deeper, you need more details about how we are doing it, on a quick demo, I'll be more than happy to showcase.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Satish.